So, alright, class, now we have activity 9.4. Let's look at it and try to solve it. Have a look at the flowchart and pseudocode below. What is the purpose of the algorithm that they represent? So, first of all, before moving on to the next part of the question, let's solve the first one. They are just asking us to figure out what does this flowchart do. Okay, we have the start symbol, then we have a flow line leading us to the second part, which is a parallelogram, and here we have input num1 and num2. So this means that this flowchart will ask the user to input two numbers, and they will be represented through a variable num1 and num2. And then we have our decision symbol, which is like a diamond. Num1 is greater than num2, so here we are checking if the num1 and num2, which are entered by the user, which one of the num is greater. So we are having a comparison here. So for this condition, we can have only two options. So if the answer is yes, if num1 is greater than num2, then what is going to happen? Look at the yes symbol, yes is written there. Print num1 is largest. So what we will get the output? We will get the output num1 is the largest. Okay, and then from there, the flowchart will go to the end. The program ends there. But if num1 is not larger greater than num2, so we will go to the no step. We will go to with the option no, then we will be printing that num2 is largest. So if num1 is greater than num2, if the answer is yes, then the program will be printing num1 is largest. But if the condition gets false, okay, so this means that if num1 is not greater than num2, then simply means that num2 is greater than num1. Okay, so the printout would be num2 is the largest. So by looking at this flowchart, we have figured out that this subroutine is going to take two numbers as input, and then it will tell us which one is the largest. Okay, so now we have solved the first question, the first part of the question. We have figured out what this flowchart represents. This flowchart is comparing two numbers and telling us which one is the largest. So you have to write the answer in your own words, in words like this for the first part. So the second part is what would be the output if the numbers 7 and 18 were input. So they are asking that in the flowchart you can see we have asked for num1 and num2 from the user. So if the user inputs num1 as 7 and 18 as num2, so let's put these values in the decision box. Num1 is greater than num2. So is this true or what? This is not true, this is false. So the decision box will traverse through the no option, and the output would be num2 is largest. So what would be the output if the numbers 7 and 18 were input? You will write the answer num2 comma inverted commas is largest. Okay, the last parallelogram, the thing written in the last parallelogram, num2 is the largest. You will write the answer this. Okay, similarly we have the pseudocode for the same thing. On the right side you see input num1 comma num2. If num1 is greater than num2, we have inputted in the first step, and the second step we are comparing it. If num1 is greater than num2, then print num1 is largest, obviously. But if not, so we are representing it with the else print num2 is largest. Okay, so we cannot input two same numbers here. We have a loophole here. So what if the loophole is this, that what if the user inputs the number, both the numbers user have input are same. Okay, for example, user pressed num 5 for num1 and 5 for num2. This program doesn't cover that. Okay, this program is assuming it is only going to work when both the numbers are different. Okay, so if num1 is greater than num2, then print num1 is largest, else we have else against in against of if, else print num2 is largest, and if. This is not a big deal. It's just a pseudocode for the same flowchart we have been through.